Hello everyone, this is Jennifer from simplescrapper.com. Welcome to my unKit #1 sharing video. What I'm going to do each time is walk you through all of the products so you can see what they look like collected together, not just in those digital images, and then also go through my layout kits, or micro kits as I like to call them, for each of the pages I plan to make. So let's start here. We've got these cute little enamel dots from Shimelle's collection. There's hearts and stars and little circles. These are so adorable. I love small embellishments. I've also got this collection of puppy stickers from Paislee Press, Citrus Bliss. A little bit of word art sentiments here, as well as fun little motifs, hearts, and fruits like pineapples and lemons and limes, and that's super fun and summery. One thing I noticed is that these colors ended up going really well together. I was wondering about this Amy Tangerine Stitched collection of die cuts. Would that coordinate well with these products? And they do coordinate quite beautifully. And I think that's one advantage of having almost everything under the American Crafts roof, is that they're using some pretty consistent color palettes nowadays. So things go together well. These die-cut cardstock pieces are super fun. Some of them have some gold foil details. And I love how this embellishment set is very summer-oriented. This one, as you can see with the acorns, is a little more fall-oriented. And that means my kit will be a little bit flexible for the stories that I can tell. All right, next we have these Heidi Swapp phrase stickers in a kind of a cream color with black. I absolutely love these types of little word stickers and put them all over my layouts and my photos. And there's 56 different stickers on here. And I just love these little sentiments, something to look forward to, thanking my lucky stars. So that's going to be something really fun to work with. Next, we've got the polka dot washi tape from Doodlebug. Just something really simple and classic. I imagine I'll be using that on a lot of layouts in the future. We've got these campfire thickers and a really rustic craft. It's really plain and simple. There is a little bit of finish on it. It's not just the raw chipboard, but these are super simple and really versatile, and I've used this font many times on my layouts. Thickers are always a go-to for titles for me. And then finally, we have this Poolside paper pad from Crepe Paper. If you read my original blog post for this unKit #1, you'll know that this particular unKit began with this paper pad as the inspiration. So I took this individual color palette here and coordinated each of the items with this. Some of the items, like these ones on the bottom here, were color coordinated, and then you can see these other items were more thematic coordinated, or these are more timeless products that I could have used with any kit at all. And that's how I tend to build things, using a combination of color coordination and timeless patterns and colors. This paper pad is super fun. Again, it has some of the summer themed motifs in it as well, but then some darker tones like this rich gold and this black or navy blue stripe. That makes it a little bit more flexible for more than just summer pages. Right, so that is our collection for this unKit. And again, the whole point of the unKit is to do two things. One, it's to encourage you to patronize our scrapbook stores and collect products one at a time rather than purchasing a kit that somebody else assembled for you. But it's also to show you how easy it is to create kits from your own stash and how better ways that you can coordinate those together. All right, now that you've seen what was in this first unKit, I'd like to walk you through how I will get my layout started. So I've prepared 5 different what I call micro kits. So these are subdivisions of a larger kit, and they're basically page kits. They're all of my supplies that I'm going to need to get this page started. I'm starting here with the 6x6 pad because usually when I do a micro kit, I start with the whole 6x6 pad at my side. And so for all 5 of these layouts, I'm going to have this pad at my side. And on this first layout, I'm going to show you how I go about selecting the papers to go with my embellishments and photos. So when I was thinking about the themes of this pattern paper collection and the embellishments I chose, summer types of activities came to mind first. And I remembered that I had all of these different photos of my husband and I at baseball games over the year. It's one of our favorite summer pastimes. We've been to stadiums all over the country. And so I wanted to take a selection of those to do a layout about that shared experience that we have. So I printed these photos. These, I think, will be cut down using a 1.5-inch punch into circles, circles being a nice motif for baseball. And then I also have these enamel dots and the circle washi tape. And I think that, having a little bit of a thematic motif in your design is always fun, just to bring it all together. And then in the background, cardstock, which I chose, this is from Amy Tangerine Stitched collection. It has a stitched motif that says "Hello, Love," and I thought the stitching reminded me of the stitching on a baseball. What I haven't done yet is select the pattern papers for this layout. So I wanted to walk you through my thought process and how I assign pattern papers into one of my page kits. So I'll start flipping through, see what comes to mind. A couple things stood out for me immediately. I like this dot paper, again with the circle motif. Let's see here. The diamond motif is really good, especially for baseball. The gray doesn't go out so as well with the craft, so I probably wouldn't choose that one. Pool's not really relevant. This is not really a floral layout. Squiggles, no. Triangles, no. This pink little summer one that has these different phrases. Hello, summer, more sun and fun, sunshine on my shoulders, some warm summer memories are made out of sunshine. That might be good. And the pink also refers to, this being a relationship layout. This one might be good. Ice cream cones, maybe in a small pattern. The yellow, maybe. So what I'll usually do is I will pick the ones that I'm pretty confident that I want to use. And maybe that's just one or two. So I'll start with this one. And I'll pair those pages with my page kit, but I will keep this handy as I want to add in papers during the actual scrapbooking process. But the reason I like to have things selected in advance is to reduce any of that decision making as I'm creating. That doesn't mean that I don't allow this flexibility to follow, what's interesting to me, what colors are getting me excited right now. But by having a lot of the logistical parts of the layout thought out in advance, I can focus my energy on the creative process. All right, so that's one layout and how I deal with the pattern papers. And I would follow that same process for each of these other layout pages that I'm going to show you. All right, the next one, another photo of my husband and I. I'm a little overdue in scrapbooking photos of the two of us, so that's why I'm focusing a couple layouts on that. This is of one where we took a trip to the zoo with my husband's entire family, and we were sitting in the back of one of those little zoo trains. This was the only time we had a chance to sit down together the whole time. And so this layout is about how we're that soft spot to land for each other. And even though life is really busy, and especially when we're doing things with his family, which is very large, that we always can go back to each other to find that place of calm. And I picked out this, the die cut set as a place to start on my layout because I noticed this always equals us word art embellishment here. And so that will be my starting point for the layout. And as with all of these pages, the supplies that I selected will be included, but I usually like to have a focal point. This is the thing I'm starting with, and it usually relates to the story, and that gives me that launch point so that I can then draw in other products. Okay, let's move on. This next page I'm really excited about. Got 3 different photos here from my daughter's first day of school. This was her first day of the second year of preschool this year, and she was super excited about that. Wore a new dress, got a great smile there. And so this is just going to be a fun layout talking about the things that what is she like right now as a second year preschooler. I picked out the chipboard thickers to write preschool or preschool 2 or something like that as the title, craft being very school related. And then these really happy and fun stickers. I noticed the so happy here, and they just living life with zest, and that's her for sure. So these really felt related to the mood that I wanted to create for the page. Again, I picked another piece of craft one-sided pattern paper, cardstock from Amy Tangerine Stitched collection. This one has the wood grain motif on it. All right. Next, I've got a layout that I'm using some extras for. So I had these 2 different photos. These are from last year before we moved. And this is the one I took in the morning of my sandaled feet and my daughter's tennis shoes. And then in the evening, I took a photo of my husband's dress shoes and my dress shoes. And this is very much, it's an AM PM story, but it's also about our roles in life. And, I'm not just a mom, but I'm also a wife. And I was really excited to use these stickers, which were an extra that I included in my kit this is the Crate Paper Wonder collection. And I wanted to use these to write mom/wife, or maybe even using the ampersand here, mom and wife. So I really loved those, and I thought it would be a great way to do a title on the page. And I also had one of these new stamp sets from Allie Edwards from her story collection. And this is the build theme. And I really liked some of these sentiments on here. This is what it's all about, bringing it all together. We build, craft a life you love. And so this idea of me being a mom and a wife, and also a business owner, and all the other hats that I wear, these are things that I've chosen. This is how I've built my life, and I wanted to create a layout celebrating that using photos of our feet. So I think that's really demonstrative of what life is all about when you photograph yourself in different locations and how you are dressed. So, all right, this last layout has no photos yet. I am waiting to receive a photo by email from a coworker. We recently raised a monarch butterfly from a caterpillar. Her name was Jennifer. I did not name her, my daughter did. We actually had 2 caterpillars, Jennifer and Steve. Steve unfortunately did not make it. He was parasitized by a fly. But Jennifer did make it, and we released her just last week. She was a beautiful butterfly. And this stamp set about roots and wings really resonated with that idea of the butterfly, and then some of these sentiments on the word art. I love these kind of stickers. Celebrate the little things. Let your heart be light. Some really great sentiments on here. And I want to create a layout using those butterfly photos to, yes, document that we raised this butterfly. It was Emily's first time seeing a chrysalis and watching the butterfly hatch, and that was all really fun. But it's also about these types of observing that growth in life, and my coming to terms with my daughter, always the constant evolution you have of your child and growing up. And so I think this one will actually have a lot of journaling. It's definitely going to be word focused overall, with a few photos of that butterfly. And these I would say, are my favorite types of layouts to do, where you use a photo that's probably current to you, that has a specific memory. You can very briefly document the significance of that memory, but then spend most of your journaling talking about kind of a bigger picture feeling or relationship and really explore that on a page. And that's really why I scrapbook. So those are the 5 different page kits. I also call these micro kits sometimes that I have collected for this unKit number 1. And I'm super excited to get scrapbooking and share the finished result with you next month in another blog post. Each time we do the unkits, I will have a collection of pen and paper and all these embellishments. And then there'll be this 3-part series where I introduce the products to you. Then I show you what the products look like as we've done, as well as what these layouts look like, and kind of my story directions getting started. And then we'll show you how I created the layouts and what they look like in the end. So and I hope that's helpful to you in your journey as a simple scrapbooker. Thanks a lot, and I will see you next month.